Hi everyone, welcome back. My name is Dawn and I garden in Zone 8B. And today we're going to be doing a May garden tour. We've already hit 3-digit temperatures, so it is heating up. We're going to walk through and take a look at some of the flowers that are still in bloom or just starting to bloom. Those that love the summer heat are coming alive. If you are new here, I'm so thankful you're joining us. If you have not subscribed yet, I hope you will consider, because here's a sneak peek of the next video, which features 4 amazing gardens right here in North Texas. Each garden is so unique in its own way. So many different plant combinations and gorgeous landscape design. So you guys definitely want to stay tuned, subscribe, and make sure you turn on your notifications so you don't miss these beautiful gardens. If you're returning, I'm grateful you're here. Just leave a comment. Let me know how you're doing. Let's go ahead and get started with this tour. All right, friends, as we look at our front yard, things are looking very beautiful right now. I love how everything is either finishing a bloom or coming into bloom. The flock stands out back there, and you can see it's set behind it with a yellow knockout rose, and it is just now coming back into its second flush of blooms. And in front of the yellow knockout is the proven winner's Holy Grail hardy hibiscus, looking so healthy right now. You can see the guacamole hosta way back there by the Japanese maple. And I love the size of this hosta and how it fills that entire space. I got this variegated ajuga on clearance at Lowe's and planted it last fall, and it has gone nuts behind the Japanese maple. An up close of the Mystic Spires bloom and the daylilies. And then you can see the 2 hibiscus from this angle, filling out that entire area. And as we come around to the drift roses, keep in mind this is their second flush of roses, and they look beautiful. This is supposed to be the white drift rose, but you can see all of the pink and multicolors going on. It's beautiful. And right next to the drift roses are the proven winners amazing daisies. And I've split these up several times and they come back looking stronger each time. And that is Jolt Cherry Dianthus there. I'll zoom in. And then we have fashionably early pink flamingo phlox. So amazing. All the pollinators love this plant. And as we come around the other side of the drift roses, it seems to have more blooms. Maybe those get a little more intense of the sun. My salvia is all in full bloom. And here's another view of the Mystic Spires salvia. The kaleidoscope abelias filled out nicely. I love that bright pop of color in this corner here. And then the double play doozy are coming out of bloom, but I'll put a picture because they were so beautiful, y'all. That fuchsia color, you could see it from way down the road. Really amazing. And they look so pretty in floral arrangements. On the side of that is the Alice oak leaf hydrangea. It looks like there's some blooms starting to turn pink, which is so unusual in my area. It usually just starts to go from white to crispy. So I love to watch it blow in the wind like that. And then a gorgeous loropetalum behind it. Again, just blowing in the breeze. So beautiful. And as we turn around, we'll just get another view of all of the blooms. The Mystic Spire salvia filled in so quickly this year. Last year was their first year planted, and they just took off. I love the contrast of that Japanese maple back there. And you can kind of see the daylilies poking out in front of it. So there's the Salvia greggii. Look at they're almost fluorescent, aren't they? Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. Right behind the salvia is this bee balm. And this is the first year that it's planted. I can't wait to see what these blooms are going to look like. And this is a little bitty miniature midnight masquerade from my penstemon in the back. I grew these from seed. I'm excited that they flowered. The snapdragons, I just took a harvest, so there's not much to show there. And from this vantage point, you can see why I want to fill my garden with that phlox, right? All right, so on to the other side. The Hortzman Blue Atlas cedar is putting on so much growth. Can you see all the new color? Looking beautiful. The Helen Feinstein Lamb's Ear is just filling up this entire area. A little pincushion flower. And behind all this is a variety of daylilies. Some very pretty colors up in there. They look like they're starting to put blooms on. I've got some wave petunias that are starting to fill in, and I've got some gomphrena. So there's a layer of fuchsia back there with the blue wave petunia and then a yellow zinnia lower down towards the front. So the ligustrums add nice hardy color. I love the contrast going on between everything here. And I'm most excited for this bloodgood maple to fill out. And that's lemon coral sedum in front of the impatiens there. Lamb's ear, and then that's artemisia behind it. I trimmed up that limelight hydrangea. There's not much to show right now, but the magnolia is in bloom. If y'all could smell the scent, it's just so beautiful. Other than the leaves falling all over all the time, I love the magnolia. And then below the magnolia is this gorgeous Kong. I think it's Kong Rose Coleus. And then coming around, we have more of the blue wave petunias. That's white salvia on the right. And then I have gomphrena lining the back of this bed. So this is just kind of mirroring what's going on in the front beds. And on the other side of the driveway is some more salvia greggii and then artemisia behind it. All right, let's head to the backyard. The oleander's starting to open up, and then that's a white Texas star hibiscus. Both of those are in pots and doing great over here. They're hooked up to drip. So as we enter the backyard, you can see all of the new pollinator beds in the background. The dichondra falls has filled in so quickly. I'm afraid it's about to take over my entire sidewalk, but I love it. So I'm not going to do anything about it. These are miniature crepe myrtles. They are a nice bright fuchsia color. That is a canna lily that is incredible. And one of my viewers asked me about the canna lilies. I do dig them up and separate the bulbs. They do like to kind of take over. So just consider yourself lucky. You have lots of beautiful canna lilies to give away. Look at the veining on this one. And see my little bonus zinnia. Purple skullcap is already in bloom. And I do love the shape of purple skullcap, taking that nice kind of oval circle shape. The white Orlea is shining bright in front of the yellow yarrow right there. They both have a similar growth form, but I think it looks okay, so I'm leaving it. And look at all of the sunflowers. How pretty. And it is time for me to harvest these and actually get a nice little arrangement. But I just have such a hard time because they look so pretty out here in the backyard. Look at them. Beautiful. So gorgeous. But yes, I've got to get them inside. A few of these gorgeous salmon snapdragons are starting to open up. I use grow bags a lot for my cut flowers since I run out of space very quickly. I have taken a harvest recently, so there's just not that many that are in full bloom. These are the zinnia ballerina that are actually in my cut flower garden. See, the grow bags hold a lot of our vegetables, but we also have a couple of troughs. We're growing some tomatoes right now, and they've got quite a few tomatoes on the plants. And my husband is the vegetable gardener. He is the one growing the vegetables. He does a lot of the care and all of that. We've got a lot of poblano peppers coming in. We'll need to take a harvest soon. And then here's a close-up of the Sexy Rexy Floribunda. Absolutely gorgeous. That's one stem, you guys, one stem. All right, coming back around, I think I'll give you a close-up of the Orlea. And if you haven't grown that, you should. It is so easy to grow. I just scattered the seeds in the fall, and then this is the result. And then over here is the Moonlight and Paris Rose. And this will be a second flush. I cut it back and got this beautiful one. And then down here, tucked under the crepe myrtle is the beautiful First Lady Clematis. I think she's wrapping herself around the crepe myrtle trunk. And this is Prairie Verbena. Look how the sun is shining on the Vitex tree. Isn't that beautiful? The Vitex tree is about to come into bloom. All right, and over here is a couple of cute little primroses, and I love the fuchsia color. It matches with the Celosia Dragon's Breath. So cute. Primrose is one of the few annuals that can take our intense summer heat. And then these are foxgloves from seed. Don't have any blooms yet. I'll probably have to overwinter them one more season and hope to get blooms next spring. And these are all the new pollinator beds. If you're new to the channel, I'll put a link here and show you how we developed these beds and what it looked like before. The Greg's Miss is coming into bloom, and I did have a couple of monarchs this week. I ran to get my camera. They were too fast and they were already gone. That was disappointing. So both of these hardy hibiscuses, these are Proven Winners Perfect Storm. They were both transplanted and they're looking very healthy right now. So I'm pleased about that. These are the Peach Drift Roses. And they're just getting settled in. I don't expect them to do that much this year, but it looks like they're fighting to put on some blooms for me. And in front of the Drift Roses is this Creeping Germander, and this is a Texas native. It's starting to flower, and it's still kind of keeping its clump form, but I'm excited for it to start spreading out. The Alaska Shasta is so tall, and I'm excited about the height. Since these beds are only a month old, I'm really surprised at how many things are in bloom. I think all of the rain that we've gotten this year has helped everything to get established because everything looks super, super strong, and I'm pleased how it's all coming along. I'm tempted to cut off the blooms, you know, just to make sure the roots are getting established, but everything's still looking so good. And this is the gorgeous Ascot Rainbow Euphorbia. I love the golden color and the contrast to the lamb's ear right here. And then look at the columbine blooms, how beautiful. Can't wait for these to fill out here. But if there is something here that I am not highlighting and you'd like to know, please just leave me a comment and put the time that it is, and I will definitely highlight and tell you what that plant is. But so along here is coleus that I overwintered in the greenhouse, and these are all just cuttings that I'm trying to get to fill out the space. This is another blood good Japanese maple. That is the Alice oak leaf hydrangea back behind it. And more mystic spires. Salvia, and I love it when I catch pollinators on the plants. Can't have enough of this plant, that's for sure. And behind all this is a smoke tree back there, and then those are coral canna lilies right in front of it. That's the Alice oak leaf again. Just offering a few different perspectives here. And then I love this bronze fennel here. It is getting lost a little bit here, kind of hides in the mulch, but once that artemisia fills out, I feel like it's going to pop out a little bit better. And all of my white salvia, those stay in bloom all summer long. Love them. The rock rose abelias are finally filling in. I'm sorry, Rose Creek. I always call them rock rose. The verbena. And I just want to highlight that beautiful basket. One of my daughters gave me that for Mother's Day. And this is spinach, you guys. Look at the gorgeous leaf color behind it. The purple. And then the little propagations that I took, both of them got established. So I'm excited about that. I am planning on keeping this cut down so that it forms more of a ground cover here. And then the dianthus have been full of pollinators. So beautiful. And then these are the majestic manicured daylilies that I planted a few weeks ago. I cut and divided them and didn't expect to have all these blooms, but it's as beautiful as I thought it would be. I just want to show y'all another up close of my cute little cone basket. I love it. I rarely water this thing. It needs no water. Those heliotrope are amazing plants. But here's another view. That Greg's Mist, again, is looking great. And Rob's just back there supervising me. But I do want to highlight the Russian sage. Look at that. Especially behind the peach drift rose, the way it's, oh my gosh, it's just so pretty. And you can see the hydrangea here is just starting to bud out. And the blooms are coming out a beautiful purplish blue. And then that's the little baby plant there that I propagated last year. And look, there's a little bud. Yay! And the oak leaf acanthus is still going strong, also known as bear's breeches. I'm blown away by this plant. And the containers are starting to fill out. We have, I think, diamond snow euphorbia. There's sweet potato vine at the bottom, heliotrope on the right, and then gazania with that bright orange flower. And then the white salvia behind it. Love this combination. That sweet potato vine fills out in the summer. It's so pretty. And here's the little pink-faced capilla. You can actually see the little faces today. And then the butterfly bushes behind it. Coming around, you can see we have the Shirley's Bouquet White Rose. So beautiful. But you can't miss the gorgeous Eclipse hydrangea. That thing is a beast. Here's my oak leaf hydrangea into tree form. I'll put that link here as well about how I train this oak leaf into tree form. And let me step back here because above all of this is another beautiful Japanese maple. And it is under this the oak tree here. It turns a beautiful orange color in the fall. And then onto these containers. Here's the Southern Living. This is platinum grass, I think it's called. These are little zinnias. Gorgeous canna lily. And then heliotrope and verbena. Before we move on, I want to give you a quick update of the coleus tree. Everything's filling out so nicely, just looking fantastic. And you can see lots of hostas tucked away back there. More hostas in the front. All right, and then this is our secret pathway behind the pool pumps. And this pathway has been here for probably going on 3 to 4 years now. So everything's pretty healthy and established. The catmint down there on the right, oak leaf on the left, and then lamb's ear, daylilies on the right. And the Augusta lavender heliotrope reseeded itself. So it's already putting on blooms. This one's the fullest. I think it gets more sun. I'm excited about the free plants. And then we've got lots of little hostas tucked away back here, filling in those areas. So pretty. And that's a carex grass there. And this is a Proven Winners annual hibiscus. It's the Hollywood series, and I think this is America's Sweetheart. The Alice Oak leaf looking amazing. And just looking on to more catmint on the right. The sunshine ligustrums on the left always put on such a beautiful show of chartreuse in the garden back here. That is some more Orlea growing beautifully. And as we pan up, the Peggy Martin is coming out of bloom. The Arizona cypress is really filling out. It's about to start going above the fence there. And the Midnight Masquerade penstemon is also coming out of bloom. It has turned out to be one of my favorite perennials. It's disease resistant, puts these beautiful purplish creamy blooms out each spring. And it's been so easy to multiply just by digging them up and propagating them that way. You can also do seed, but I have found just by digging up sections, it'll propagate easily. All right, and behind you can see the drift roses are coming out of bloom. The yellow lantana is new. I don't have luck with lantana perennializing, but I think I'm also impatient. A few more containers. This has verbena, and then that is cavoli. And just here's another view of the garden from this angle. The sun's hitting the trees, so pretty. And then more containers here. There's zinnia, coleus, lemon thyme, and some dusty miller alongside the euphorbia. And this alyssum reseeds every year. More free plants. A few more containers. This coleus, peachy keen verbena, and then this beautiful hibiscus, which started blooming today, of all days. Perfect timing. And then coming around to the pentas. And this is a coral salvia. Looks pink in this video. And then this beautiful, beautiful rose. The color is outstanding. And of course, my new little rain meter. I love to come out here, and when the wind's blowing, his little head will bob back and forth. Is that so cute? All right, we're coming up behind my porch. These are all autumn joy sedum here on the right. And then this goes back to my container garden. Here's another view. Got a couple of Japanese maples flanking the patio here. And then this area is mostly shade. There is a crepe myrtle right in the middle that shades most of this from the sun. And a few of the plants over here by the water fountain do get full sun. And that's a guacamole hosta right there in the center. It's just gorgeous. Can you see how big it is? And then the hydrangeas starting to bloom back here. And I think my clematis is struggling. I think I had a mole go right through one of the center plant. Unfortunately, a lot of the older branches died. I had to clean it out, but let me see if I can give you a close-up of this flower. These look so vibrant today, a lot deeper than they normally look. I have it growing here into the Japanese maple. Just lots of shade plants back here. And look at these Japanese maples, how beautiful. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed the tour. Don't forget, if you liked it, to give it a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe. Y'all have a great day. See you in the next one. Bye.